my view to be any more sacrosanct or better than anyone else's either. I'm just telling you what I think. Like what I actually think. I'm not trying to hide it or lie about it or any of that other stuff. I'm just trying to tell you what I actually fucking think. And it's so off the fucking wall that most of the time I just hide. I'll let somebody else vote for me. I'll let someone else represent me. I'll have bad opinions about both parties. I'll have good opinions about both parties. I'll have, I don't like either one. I'd be okay if they died tomorrow. I'd be okay if both Biden and Trump were to be assassinated. I'd be okay with that. It would be bad, and I don't want it. But I mean, I don't crave it or desire it. I don't want death to anybody. But I would be okay with it because I do believe that the death of the two systems needs to occur. I do not believe there is a leader worthy of stepping in either party leader's shoes. I don't believe there is a run-up Democrat or a run-up Republican who is fit to fit either of these men's shoes. And that is disgusting to me. That is like we are it's like we are in a boat in the ocean. And there's like two packs of people each on one side of the boat. And they're arguing about who should become captain because the captain just got squished by the mast or something. And we're not ever going to get out of the storm. No one ever does take the rudder. No one ever has the same stature as the captain. No, I mean, it just sucks. And I'm not even talking about Trump, really. I'm not even talking about Biden. I'm talking about like JFK or someone like that. We haven't had good presidents lately. So I'm talking about like old school motherfuckers. I guess the primary examples would be Nixon and fucking JFK. So like, I'm talking about old school presidents and stuff like the back when we had some decency still. The death of decency is what is wrong. And now like I don't they have zero value to me. And I've talked like this to anybody who cared to listen, which wasn't many people. I would say not many people my whole life. I have talked like this since, and trust me, anybody would tell you, I've talked like this since I was 13 years old or something like that. I didn't get crazy about it till I was like 26, and I fundamentally saw the thermite explosions of the 9/11 building being imploded and all of the world's goddamn demolitionists coming forward and saying that they wouldn't back the Warren report, saying that plane took that building down and all this stuff. And I was like, no. I will not accept this lie. This is where I draw the line. Our government betrayed our people. I don't trust them. I think all of this has to do with financial records and all of the buildings. I think they're up to deeper, more meta level crime like a mafia. I think they sell and or get themselves conscribed to some sort of corrupt situation where someone can blackmail them all the time. And I think all of our leaders are being blackmailed. I think a lot of problems are not all, but I mean, I think a bunch of our major leaders are being blackmailed right now. I'm dead serious. I really fundamentally believe this. I think most of the world's politics is conducted through blackmail, and almost none of it is ever spoken about. And I have a deep, deep conviction about this that you couldn't ever ever dislodge from my brain. I don't know why I think this, but I do. I full blown believe that there's that. I do. So I don't think we can stop it or change it, but I do believe that if you understand that your future is entirely up to yourself, you can recover from the betrayal. I have hope in the future. Now I consider it now to be the future. I think it's kind of over a lot of it because now we're in the future where we sort of woke up. The people who were gonna wake up woke up. It wasn't much. It was like 3% of all of America or something like that. It wasn't much. It was like the people who don't, and however they came to us, some of us thought it was truther stuff. Some of us just had victims, had our family become victims. Some of us were persecuted by the government. There's reasons that people came to this realization. But I don't know what mine are. I know that I think there's some kind of overall agenda with the system to sort of keep people who act out under the thumb of the system. And I believe the people that are most likely to act out are our most talented people. And this is why I think that the war on drugs is so evil. I think it is a war on our most talented people. Our best artists, you know, I'm sorry, but I believe it is. I've always thought of it as an interpersonal war between the sober and the drunk or something like that. I don't know what it is. It's something that deep and fundamental like that. It's fucked up like that. Where just like if they manage to stay sober their whole lives, they just can't imagine what it must be like to get drunk and sing or something like that. So they just suppress it. I don't know what it is. It's something like that. It's something like that. I've never understood it. Why uptight fascist people seem to care about drugs so much? I've never understood it. It's like the one freedom that they can't suppress is your mind. I'm not saying do a lot of drugs. I'm saying that the suppression of drugs in the system was this very calculated ploy to essentially suppress our greatest intellectuals. And I was one of the big victims of this. They came after me. They held 10 years over my head like it was a guillotine for 4 years or something like that. It was 2 years. No, it was 2 years. It was 2 years. But I got the charge 2 years before. It was 4 years long, but it was 2 years when they warned me what might happen, which was 10 years in jail, mandatory, on a non-felony charge. They held that over my head for 2 years, and I mean, it was coming for 2 years before that. It was a 4-year-old charge when we resolved it. I think about that guillotine they held over my fucking head because of COVID. They were like, oh, COVID, you don't have a right to a speedy trial anymore because of COVID. And I was like, no, I have a right to a speedy trial all the time. I asked them like 6 times, I have a right to a speedy trial. You have dragged this out for 2 years and 8 months. And you are telling me now it's going to be another 15 months or something. I am in a mental health facility because you are holding 10 years of jail over my head for a nonviolent drug offense. I used to say stuff like this on the phone with the judge. And I was like, you need to bump this court date. And they're like, sir, we can't. It's COVID. And I'm like, all right. What can I say? I can't fight City Hall. But that thing that you said back then about speedy trial, it was a lie, wasn't it? You trampled my rights, didn't you? I don't care about your COVID. You promised me a God-given, inalienable right to a speedy trial. You didn't give it to me. I don't trust you anymore. 4 years on a non-felony charge. 4 years. Held 10 years over my head, mandatory. Over probation violation for a possession charge. And like, it's like demons took over your government or something. You're like, that betrayal, I will never forget it. I'll never forgive. I'm not Jesus. I wasn't there. I'm not. Jesus wasn't there. You know, in this, when you treated me like that, Jesus wasn't there. I've been victimized by the system terribly. Jesus was not there for that. You know what I'm saying? It was a dark room that, and you know, and so yeah, I got some personal biases against you. I don't trust you.
Who needs to constantly grow and generate profit and value while pursuing these lofty goals of his. People who are woke, whether that means pro-union or anti-racist.
It is pro-union, and it is anti-racism, and it is pro-regulation. I talk about regulation all the time. Get these billionaire software despots who rape children and fuck us with Microsoft and fuck our military with Microsoft the fuck out of here all the time. Sound familiar? It's not Marxism that we're talking about here. It's calling being a good person.
Regulation.
It's called being a good person. A good person is pro-union. A good person is anti-racism. And a good person is pro-regulation. Or guess what? They march all over the fucking rights of children in the video game industry. These are things that good people are good about and have good beliefs about. This is not about woke. It is about good people are pro-union. Good people are anti-racist. And good people are pro-regulation.
Are simply in his way. And he has no problem.
Now, I'm pro-regulation, but I'm anti-jail. I'm actually really more about understanding when crime has been committed, what the damage was, can we bring the person to justice or not, and how can we recover from it. You know, actual reform and repair and recovery. But I think they're about putting you in jail and keeping a lot of jails full. I really do believe that. I think they're only about filling jails. I think that's their main fucking export is jails. So I'm just, you know, and by they I mean the system. So those who pick fights with me do so at their own peril. Yeah, did you cause 420 deaths, Elon? I'll pick a fucking fight with you. Did you inadvertently cause 420 deaths? Are you the greatest serial killer of all time?
Who were in his way?
You're worse than the Japanese abortion lady? You know?
Indeed, you can have lofty pro-human goals.
You got a nice count of 420 there, and you're at the top of the serial killer list, higher than Dahmer, or, you know, the only person that outdoes you is Vlad the Slayer. I'll pick a fight with you, Elon, and I bet you do that at your own peril.
And still do bad things and have bad ideas. Even he knows this. You can have...
Answer the question, you know what I'm saying? Because I bet it isn't what I think it is, but I want to know what it is. You know what you said? I don't want to punish you or throw you in jail. I want the truth. I want you to answer that question, right? Did you inadvertently cause 420 deaths through negligence or some kind of recall or some such, right? And can he answer no? If he can, then I want to know how he's answering no. If he does, I'll correct myself and I'll do so at my own peril or whatever. But I suspect the answer is yes. I suspect he inadvertently caused around 420 deaths in this world. And that puts you up there with Vlad the fucking Slayer and a guarantee confirmed evil. I'm not talking about any of your Nazism on your little Twitter twat thing.
Have pro-human aims with anti-human practices. Often his pro-humanity and sympathies seem really tacked on, like lip...
I look at that dude and I think sincere... I mean, do you guys get that vibe? Like, do you get insincere from him? I don't. My Twitch on my tablet fucked up and I have to fix it. It is annoying. Oh, good. There we go.
When asked 6 years ago if he would do anything for the homeless or the housing crisis, he said that his boring company that gets in the way of public transportation projects and has built one sludgy tunnel in Vegas would be selling their leftover dirt as bricks for affordable housing. Now, if you find that useless and insulting from the richest man in the world, just wait until every tech blog writes about it. The boring company sells bricks as toys instead, and then they literally never do anything about it ever again. What a fake little afterthought from a liar. Literally, under oath.
I think it's at this point it has devolved into ad hominem, and I'm going to get off this guy. I'm sorry.
How's it going, everyone? And welcome to another video.
What's up, Noob World? Thank you so much for the excellent content from my stream. I've liked and subbed to your channel.
And finally see it live up to its immense potential.
Nope.
Before we get into that,
it's dead.
Video, like, subscribe to the channel.
Sorry.
Now,
I had to deal with it as well.
Fair to say, the
but no, it's a dead game.
Around New World at the moment. Yeah. So I wanted to make this video talking about it and kind of get a feel for wherever
they used us for an engine. We used them for a New World after WoW. They used us to test out an engine, and they used us to tech demo an engine and display it publicly. We used them for a New World after WoW briefly. It was a bad romance. Plastic fantastic and plastic fantastic. And I have no regrets. I hope they don't either. Hoping LOTR will be great. Yeah, and I said what I meant. Plastic, fantastic, and shallow. And I have no regrets. I hope they don't either. Hoping LOTR will be great. Yep, they used us to tech demo an engine, display it publicly. We used them for Newton to learn. We used them for New World after WoW briefly. It was a bad romance. Plastic, fantastic, and shallow, and we used each other, and I'll admit it. They used us to tech demo an engine and display it publicly to learn. We used them for a New World after WoW briefly. It was a bad romance, plastic, fantastic, and shallow, and we used each other, and we both admitted it, and I have no regrets. I hope they don't either. Hoping LOTR will be great. It's okay if it's not. You are the people who imagineer my lifestyle. I'm going to love you anyways. Play it all the time. Max 200 on 6 cares. Goes to... Yeah, and I love New World. I do. No, just save. There we go.
Everyone is at. For starters, if you could comment on whether or not you think the game is dying or dead already.
It's dead. It's dead.
Or if you feel the June announcement will be the big turnaround for New World. I think that'll give a good representation
Fuck
of
no.
where everyone is at. It's no secret I really enjoy playing New World.
They'll have to do something drastic, and they can't. They'll never do anything drastic to this game. They're too scared to. But they'll have to bring back full loot drop, or I don't know. The console is a good change. It brings a big population of controller players that would be interested in a title like this, I think. So that's a big step in the right direction, but I don't think it'll save the game. I think they got to do something really fucking drastic, and I don't know what that would be. They'd have to do a cataclysm or something.
And I always try to stay positive about the things.
Or, you know, or and just rehash the entire world, or, I mean, now at this point, I don't see a loot. Like there's not enough loot in the game. It's not that there's not enough loot. There's too much loot. It's that none of the loot means anything, and they'd have to change that. And I don't know how they could. They could make it so they raise the eye level 100 every month or something. It would have to be something drastic like that. Really drastic, where we're constantly always getting an upgrade and always hitting a little bit harder, you know? It'd have to be something really crazy like that. They'd have to do something really nuts, and I don't know what it would be. The game itself doesn't have the Trinity, not in a real way. They have to fix that.
I enjoy. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit worried about the future of the game.
I'm not worried about it. It's in good hands.
A lot of people believe that we are beta testers.
Also, the console players won't be able to play with PC, which totally destroys the point of even bringing them to console.
The upcoming Lord of the Rings MMORPG that Amazon is working on. And new.
Now, don't say upcoming. Don't say upcoming. Yeah, don't say upcoming for LOTR, buddy. It'll be like 2033.
New World will be used to get their engine right before the game releases, and then it will shut down New World, leaving us all in the dust. Although I don't fully agree with this, or believe this idea, and the devs have stated they have a 10-year plan for
That's what they're gonna do. That's
New
what they
World.
said they were
I
gonna
don't
do.
think that even will be the worst case scenario, if it were to play out, as long as you're enjoying your time in New World. I know I don't get that much time to play, so whenever I get on, I'm still enjoying it. If in a few years, the Lord of the Ring MMO comes out, and it's pretty much a reskinned New World, but with all the issues fixed, and they choose to end New World, I'd be sad for sure. Losing my character would be a shame. But I also love the Lord of the Rings universe, and starting again in that world, with the same kind of gameplay I get from New World, with a lot less bugs and issues, doesn't sound that bad to me. Plus, it will give the dev team a blank slate, which will be really helpful, because after the rough launch New World had, it's next to impossible to get rid of the negative sentiment that follows the game around, which causes the community to get toxic at times. But let's look at things from a bit more of an optimistic angle. Let's say the June announcement is as awesome as they're hyping it up to be. We can already pretty much confirm a console release, which although that doesn't do much for us, unless the servers will be cross-platform, will bring in a ton of new players, which is good for content creators, and Amazon will get a big chunk of cash for this. So hopefully they will fully reinvest that into the dev team, allowing more content to come out at a faster rate. There's also swimming coming, which isn't much for us either, and it's long overdue, but if they're really trying to wow us with this announcement, which I think they are, after all the hype, and having the announcement at a major game conference, I could see them doing something really big along with this. A swimming skill line would be nice. How they would have that work, I wouldn't know, but what I'm really hoping for is some kind of sailing skill line, or naval content released with the swimming edition. Even if maybe it's too hopeful to think it'll be announced in June, I could for sure see this happening soon, and swimming being the first step to this. I think another big hint for this was in the revamped story cutscenes, with Isabella giving Empress Sao an orb that would allow for her to take her armies to the storm wall on their ships. An orb that eventually found its way into the hands of Grace O'Malley, and she was going to use it, but held off of it for now. With Grace already being a kind of pirate character, having a naval kind of pirate skill linked to her, with her letting the players in and out of the storm wall, I think is a big possibility, and would add a ton of content to the game. We also got the PvP island coming, which was pretty much confirmed from the game files and a recent PTR. This island will be free-for-all, and everyone that's on it will be PvP flagged, going at one another regardless of faction. In theory, this sounds awesome, but I'm a bit skeptical about it. If done right,
a lot of
it could be
PvP
amazing,
sucks.
but it can also be done really shoddily as well. If it's just a small free-for-all island for no reason, it'll get stale fast. But if they were to add some systems behind it, like where a player could get points there to use to purchase things, or if you gain more resources there, but there's full loot drop on deaths, to make it really high risk, high reward. There's just so many cool things they could do with this PvP island. I just really hope they don't mess it up, as the PvP community really needs this. I'd love to hear from you PvP players out there, what exactly you want from this island, because
I want PvP to not suck in 2024. Like, I mean, it does. It sucks. It's like a blob, dishonorable, not fun experience in almost all of it, except for, like, the only PvP game I can stand right now is Fortnite. Is this the only game that, like, really, you know, scratches that itch? It's weird.
there's just so many ways to
This shit isn't that good. It's not good.
it's an amazing part of the game. But that's about all we know.
Like, the minute that you come up on 8 people, what do you think happens? They all switch to their fucking ranged weapon, because they all have ranged weapons. They're in PvP. And you take 8 hits from 8 people instantly. They see you running up, and they're like, oh, there's a single guy, not followed by healers, and he's alone. And all 8 of them are going to turn and spam at you, and you're going to take, like, 3/4 of your health bar before you even come in. That's why his health bar is at a quarter.
so
You know?
far. There's also
Blob PvP sucks. You just get shot by 9 people all the fucking time. It's stupid. I hated Large Clam Rust. It was like when the raid set off, there was always one dude cheating, or if not 2, probably on each team, honestly. And they're the only ones there having any fun as they wipe up like 5 fucking people around peaks and all this shit that they don't have to know about or even be in the base before to know because they're cheating. And then it just goes from there. It was just like stupid. And then so like all 5 people were shooting at each other, and it gets fun there, really fun there for you know, sometimes for a few minutes. It'll be like 20 minutes. Sometimes you'd be like having a good shooting match at some other base or something, and you're having a lot of fun, and you're like shooting rockets at a base that's near you from your base or that kind of thing. Had a good session like that one time. But then it ends, and then there's 13 more days of boring or something like that. And to get all those people in the same place to do something like that is kind of hard. It's hard to get all those people in the same place. That's why Fortnite's better. It just clumps 100 people in one place and just lets them battle royale out. I actually think it's better. This blob PvP, you just like, you walk up and if they see a solo player, you either have to roll with the team and get splash damage with them or get splash healed with them, which is so boring. You can't be special or do anything interesting. You just have to roll in this big pack like a Zerg. It is so boring. It like really is. It's like boring. And then you know, and then you just primary somebody and they're done. You know, and that guy, he doesn't get a say in it. 8 people turned and faced him and wasted him. And there's no chance for that guy, you know, and I don't like that side of it, you know, but that's war. I mean, it's war, but I don't see how that's fun for that guy. I don't see how he was anything but fodder. It happens to him probably 9 times out of 10 too. So it's like just sort of weird. I don't see how that's fun for a lot of people. Just getting fucking like 10 people turn and you get sneeze, like, you know, and they sneeze and you just fall over and it's weird and you're just instant out and you're like, wow, like 9 people turn and just killed me right there. I don't know why you put me up against 9 people, you know? Because they just turn and one-shot you.
Unless they were referencing pets. But you don't think...
If 9 people focus one person, they insta-die. It's always been like that. It's been like that since WoW PvP in 10-man, you know, in 10-mans, like Warsong Gulch or even AB, 15-mans and stuff, right? It always ends up being, 9 people got on one dude first, you know? And that dude's just deleted. And I don't really see how that equals skill or anything at all. You understand? How that's basically just a blob erase somebody, and it's actually kind of foul and a little bit disrespectful to him. And it took him out of the fight, and it turns him into a number, and it like, you know, and it disengenders him trying. You know, he doesn't try unless he's at the top of the pack, ever. Anytime you're being shot, you just stop even trying. You're just like, oh, well, I just got focused by 6 people. What's the point of even moving? They're just going to kill me in the next second, and then you die in a second. And you're like, yeah, okay, well, I had 6 people primary me instantly. I got hard switched, and now I'm dead. You know, now I was having a fun time there for a good 2.5 minutes, having the time of my fucking life, and then boom, dead. Boom, dead. And I guess that's what war is. That's what PvP is. But it's also like, I don't know why it has to be that dishonorable blobby 10 people turn and you just die, fall over. Like, I don't know, it's just weird. Like, I look at that pack and I'm like, well, you can't go up to them. They're just gonna turn and all get on you. So what fun is there to be had? You have to find some other dude off in the center like this, who's off in Africa, and you get your nice 1v1 for a little bit. But you know what happens? The other 9 people come and jib you when they see that you're about to kill somebody, and you just get blobbed. That's how EvE is. That's how fucking, you know, that's how WoW is now. That's how New World is. Like, that is not fun. Like, it's also the worst aspect of Fortnite when some third person just comes through and headshots you right at the end of your fight, you know, and you've got like 5 health left, as some dude just rudely comes in and stomps you for a single bullet fire, and he's like, yeah, I knew you were 5 health, I can see your health bar. And you're like, yeah, I would have killed me too. And you're like, well, honor and strategy and meaning and fun did not enter into this engagement, did it? I'm sure it's fun for the guy who gets to fire 1 bullet and kill the guy in a third-party rotation. But I don't think it leads to making people play better. I don't think they enjoy it. I don't think they stay around. I don't think they talk about PvP anymore. Like, the Counter-Strike scene's going strong, and so is Valorant, and so is LoL. And I would say those are maybe Fortnite are like the 4 games that people should be PvPing on anymore. Maybe like some Siege and stuff. There's some other good games on the side, Apex and stuff. But I like beyond that, I'm like, I don't know. Like, oftentimes the blob combat is so depersonalizing and so disrespectful to you even taking the time to be there. The one-shots are sometimes so extreme. Like in Overwatch, sometimes you show up like, used to be a 6-man, you know, you roll up in a 6-man, and you're ready to heal, and you're like all ready and everything, and for some reason the Rhine just doesn't put up his shield, and you're thinking he will because he's a Rhine, you know, but he doesn't. So you're standing behind the Rhine, and he takes the headshot at first, but he A, doesn't raise the shield, and B, steps to get out of the way of the next headshot, and it hits you, and you're dead. and your 90-second spawn in for the match to start, your 35-second walk, your gathering, your pre-buffs, your peaks, and your attack mode are instantly all devalued in a second because 5 people just primary you or your team isn't doing their job. And I'm sorry, but modern PvP is full of garbage people who don't try and don't care and don't want to help you. And they don't want to communicate. They don't want to talk. They don't, my issue with Overwatch, I knew when Overwatch died, the day it died, was the day that I went through a match and nobody spoke. And it hadn't been like that for 3.5 years. Everyone was so gung-ho to talk all the time, and especially in Rated, right? Not Quick Play, but Rated. In Rated, they talked on PlayStation. I never did a match for like 3.5 years or something. I didn't do a match where they didn't talk. It was just like a social acceptance. It was just there. They were talking. But but there was this point where one session, I just went all session, nobody said a word all match, and we lost horribly, and then that became the norm. And I was like, I don't see this as being fun anymore. I don't think my team is motivated. I think they're a generation of lazy people who just think that they can collect their points at their participation award because that's the games that they were raised on. So they don't try ever unless it's a 1v1 against you that's dishonorable. At which point they all 360 no scope and all this other stupid shit from their Call of Duty games and all this, and that seems like horseshit too. You just erased me with a sniper rifle, point blank, no scope, or whatever, and you're like, wow, that's disrespectful. You didn't even give me a chance to fire a shot or whatever before you just erase me or whatever. And it's not like I need him to wait 3 seconds until I'm bad and I die. It's that that gameplay that they venerate and they look and they idolize and they try to do, it's that blob style PvP where they just get the advantage and they take it and they erase you. Almost never is it a fair, balanced display of skill like an old style duel or something like that. It's you and some other dude get third partied, or the other dude is an I win button who will not lose. He's just not going to lose this 1v1. This what he lives for. He's not going to give you a fair lackadaisical fight while you both study the battleground and decide if you should maybe be somewhere more productive than 1v1ing each other in Africa, or any of that stuff, or strategy or anything like that. He's trying hard the one time in his fucking life when it's dishonorable and he's got the advantage and you're alone with him. And it's like and it seems like he really wants to get alone in a room with a dude so he can fuck him. That's the vibe they have. They really want to get you alone in a room somewhere so they can fuck you because, it is really weird. That's what modern PvP is now, is some dude wants to get you alone in a room so he can fuck you like the thirsty dude that he is. And so I just run from it most of the time. That press W shit.
Things.
And
It's enough. Especially after they hyped up.
And I think their style of play and the developers and what they think is PvP, when you combine both of them, it's like a scrub fest. It's like a scrub fest full of dishonorable exchanges that don't really mean anything, And if you get erased by a blob, you feel no shame. So, but you also feel like it also feels like there's really no reason why that should have happened. Maybe. Is it necessary for a blob to just turn around and sneeze on you and you fall over? I'm not saying make everybody invincible. I'm just saying like that that's the part of the PvP where you paint yourself in a corner where the guy can't run up and engage in the PvP without getting primaried and erased in under a second. How is that fun? You painted yourself in the corners with that with Fortnite. Like you can't fight one or two people without having a low health bar in Fortnite. It just sort of is like that. If they're equal to you, if they're the same rating as you and they're not cheating or anything, and you have a fair fight, you're gonna have to heal after fighting two people. You're going to have to. But someone else comes in third party and bangs you when you're 5 health almost always. And now that's in their gameplay. They wrote it that way. I don't know how they wrote it that way, but they did. It's in their gameplay loop. They want it that way for some reason. I don't know why. And so it's sort of weird. and I don't know how to fix that. But it is a less fun experience than what I think they want it to be and what I want it to be. It's less fun than what I want it to be, because every time something spicy sets off, it feels like either three people turn and focus you and you're immediately tripled and dead, or you're in some epic duel with some thirsty fucking incel who really wants to get you in a room alone so he can fuck you and prove to you how much better he is than you at this game at 1v1ing or whatever. And the entire thing, the entire experience from the blob shit to the thirsty 1v1 is all kind of scrubby and bad. And it doesn't lead to strategy. It doesn't lead to communication. It doesn't lead to fun. It's not a good form of PvP, and the cheating and the hacking just makes it worse. And all those people fester there, and they're unhappy because they're stuck on the same 5 games. And I don't know. I just, so I'm just going to call it how I see it. Like, those things, that's not a good look for PvP. It's not a good look for New World. It's not fun to go to Outpost Rush and go to the center fucking node. It never really was. Come in through the door with your homies, 5 or 6 or even maybe 10 of you, and immediately you're fucking primary because you were the one who just happened to have one little jag of health left than everybody else. And so they just automatically pick the weakest target. All 40 of them immediately primary you, and you're raced out of there before you can even press a button. And that is how most blob PvP is. Now, some people find that like addictively, uproariously fun. And I must admit, I did all the way up until Isle of Conquest and Tol Barad and what's the other one? Ashen something or another. Ashen Vale, or not Ashen Vale, but whatever the other one is, Ashen something or another. And then the blob PvP was like, okay, I run up with my crew. We're there. We fight you for 30 seconds. One of us dies, either you or them, and then everybody on the other team gives up because you have a death, right? And then at that point you're at a disadvantage and you can't win. Then you just basically alpha the next person who doesn't even bother throwing up a defensive because they know that one person's dead now, and it's now a 9v10, and the likelihood of winning has now been reduced by 10 whole percent, which is a lot in a competitive game. It's a lot. It's enough for most of them to give up. They're like, oh, I'll just wait for the next match or something, right? They just give up, and I get sick of that bullshit. That is not strategy. That is not PvP. That's you just playing the numbers game, collecting honor like all the rest of us, right? But I mean, like, at no point do I ever see you guys like doing something heroic in a node and taking it by yourself or any of that stuff. It's always some horde of a fucking blob showing up and primarying somebody, and that's somehow supposed to equal skill. And I've never really agreed. I don't think that's really skill. It's blob PvP and it sucks. I don't know how you fix it. Like, I remember when I beat Suit Up, which was the #1 guild in the world at the time. We beat Suit Up on a life grip, a life grip. Our DK carrier, blood DK carrier, Chris to the goal, and I got our point. He was the flag runner. He was stunned and fucked, and they had a flag, and they were going to cap the minute they killed him. And when he was at 1 health, I gripped him off the ledge to the fucking flag and capped for the 3rd and won this epic match against the greatest guild in the world. And I have witnesses and my 2 lock friends, Chris and Ben. They were there for that, and they'll never forget it, and neither will I. And I've got witnesses for this. I won't make a claim like this. We beat the best guild in the world in a 10v10 in Warsong Gulch in the middle of I believe it was in the middle of Cataclysm, and we were going up against 2 solid guilds, and only 2 guilds. It was it was 2 guilds. It was Tsunami and Adept had become Suit Up was the first guild, and then the other one was Method. Yeah, Method. We went up against Method and lost. But we beat Suit Up, and Suit Up was above Method in the 10s game. I was in a top 10 guild at that time, and I wasn't running it at that point yet, but I was there. And it was an interesting time, and Chris and Ben were there. I've got fucking witnesses for this who will come on stream and verify this. I mean, we beat the best guild in the world on a Warsong Gulch one time because of me. I pulled a grip at the end and capped the last point on a really clutch game where he had like 1 health left, and they were going to cap as they killed him. And I gripped him on 1 health when he was in his DK phase of dying, and he capped the flag. And we won against goddamn Tsunami Adept. Suit Up is their name, is Tsunami Adept, right? Tsunami and Adept were 2 of the best horror guilds in existence, and they merged and became Suit Up, which was a play on words between Tsunami and Adept, right? Suit Up, Sudept, Suit Up, and they were friends of ours. And so, you know, we weren't win trading or anything with them, but they were friends of ours, and it was just kind of funny, and I remember that match for the rest of my life, and I know Chris and Ben do too. But these are people who have that name on their gamer tag, or I wouldn't use it. You know, they were proud of their first names. You know, those guys will never forget that match. And what? Okay, all that PvP really was a DK would grip a priest to their 10-man. The rogue would stun you and then smoke bomb, and all of the mages and all the lock and the shadow cleave would dump all of their burst damage with 2 frost decays on a priest. And the priest can live through all that with pain suppression and PI, which is already up because the minute you're getting gripped into a 10-man, you just PI and pain sup yourself anyways because you know it's over. you know it's over. You're not getting gripped back because you're smoke bombed, and so you PI and pain sup and run all your defensives and all this and interfire and all this, and they don't get you right away. It takes them like 6 or 7 seconds, but they'll get you when the pain suppression runs out. They'll get you, and your team can't get there probably in time unless unless you're running 2 disc priests. Maybe the disc priest can throw a POW barrier on top of yourself, but you already have a POW barrier on, and you can't stack those. So the POW barrier runs out and the pain sup runs out, and you've already got POW barrier. I mean, that's not going to help you if they cast it. So there's really nothing there except Healing Rain that could potentially save you or anything, or maybe another pain sup might save you, but I don't really think so. It would have to be Lay on Hands, Blessing of Protection, and pain sup through POW barrier to survive through 2 frost decays, 2 locks, 2 frost mages, and a warrior, right, for MS, and you in charge and all this and all that, and constant MS. And so yeah, and 2 frost decays, a DK, so 2 frost decays, a warrior, a shaman, a tree, a disc, and 2 shadows and 2 locks, right? And so the 2 shadows and the 2 locks lay up. This is how we beat Tsunami, and that's how they beat us and shit like that, right? Is we lay up 4 sets of dots on 2 frost decays targets, and it's a grip target, right? And if you're smart, you bring a rogue instead of 2 shadows, right? But you can bring 2 shadows, it also works. And then you bring the rogue, but rogues suck. You probably shouldn't bring a rogue really if you can avoid it. And so you bring a rogue, but if you do, you do it for smoke bomb, which definitely ensures the kill on the. You came to my camp and you're killing my ants. It's like really kind of annoying. Why did you do that? Yeah, don't kill my ants, please. I've been here like all night. Leave me alone. So what am I saying? Or no, he didn't kill my aunt, I don't think, actually. But what was I gonna say? So like that was the strategy back then. That blob PvP was garbage. It doesn't matter that you've gotten to 2190 or 2390 or any of this shit, and you're the best in the fucking world. That doesn't matter. When they grip you, you're dead. When they grip you, you're fucking dead. You've got about 6 seconds while the pain sup runs out. But they can't run the space between you and them and save you somehow most of the time. Maybe the shaman can bust hero and then dump like all of their tree and shaman cooldowns on you and maybe, you know, water shielding and stuff. And maybe win. Maybe. But it's unlikely because, and especially it won't happen if there's a smoke bomb. If there's a smoke bomb, you're just dead. Full-blown dead. I used to bring rogues on purpose to crack big gills because with the smoke bomb, the kill is ensured, right? It's gonna happen. So if the rogue's competent at all and actually knows how to smoke bomb, you will kill your priest that you pull. So, and we used to use that to crack big gills like Tsunami and stuff till they started doing it to us. And I had a really good leader, better than me, and he knew to just crack the priest, get the grip, and just crack the priest. He knew, you know, that's what has to happen. If one of their healers is dead, in the first 5 seconds of the game, when contact is made, the match is over for them. It doesn't matter if they're Tsunami Adept or not, you know? It doesn't matter. So we used to abuse that all the fucking time, right? And so that's what it became. And that is not good. That is not skill-based. That is not... You know, that is an I win button being used to erase somebody off the team who's helpless, who can't do anything about it. That is not really a match of skill where the player got to say anything at all. They were just disrespected, burnt, and turned inside of 5 seconds before their team can even respond to it, and they're erased out of it. And you know what's all happening. Their own team is thinking that they're bad somehow just because the RNG of getting picked by the opposite team's leader happened to them, and the whole team's thinking that you're bad because you got gripped. But I mean, what the fuck can you do about that? It's a Death Knight grip, you know? What can you do about that? The Death Knight just rides at you and grips you. There's nothing you can do. I mean, you're on foot. They're not. You know what I'm saying? You're ready to heal. They're not. They're running in to grip you. That's what they do. So, like, understand, like, you know, they're not. They don't have to heal. They can just run straight at you. I have to stay with the team. I can't run from him. I have to stay with the team. So when he comes to grip me, I'm there. Because, I mean, I'm there. I'm there to grip because I'm there with the team. I'm doing my fucking job. If I go out of range, I can't heal them, you know? So, you know, and so now, like after that, I just stopped doing PvP in any serious way. Like, I did Overwatch up to Plat, and then I began to realize it was the same old shit. They were sending in, like, a Sombra to directly kill either the Lucio or me, one or the other. If it was a Lucio, they would kill him. If it was, like, a Bap or a Moira, like me, they would come for me. And they would just erase me. It's a Sombra. You can't do anything. She shows up when you're in a corner trying to not be shot by the Hanzo or whatever. She shuts you down so you can't roll. And she just sprays you in the fucking face before you know she's there. And you're dead. It's like a rogue opened on you. You can maybe get out of it if you got a responsive team and you're talking to them. You're telling them, Sombra's on me. I'm dying in the next second. You know, and you got to say that fast. You know, like XQC, you got to say it. Everybody ragged on XQC for talking fast. But I mean, like, yeah, only a noob. I'm sorry, that's what I said too. Only a noob would rag on XQC for talking fast. I guess you just never were competitive Overwatch then? You know what I'm saying? I guess you were never competitive then? You ever been a competitive shooter person? Because I guess you just never were, huh? Because, yeah, like, people talk fast.
This announcement so much. So I'm really hoping they pull something out of the bag that no one saw coming. It's going to be a game changer. They also announced no paid expansion this year, which is a bit worrying for some.
I mean, I didn't like their last paid expansion. It felt like a ripoff to me. It was a rehash of a zone we already had and another zone that I didn't like.
When Brimstone Sands came out, it was
Brimstone was amazing.
Prince 2 as an expansion.
I loved Brimstone. I want to go back to Brimstone. Like, honestly, I felt like we could have sat on Brimstone for like 5 years, and I thought that's what they were gonna do. So, but then they raised the level cap and acted like we should go somewhere else than Brimstone. But I don't think you are supposed to go anywhere else but Brimstone. But they acted like you should. They acted like you should go to the Angry Earth places at level 65 or whatever to go to, or what is 60 to 65. But I mean, technically, all of the MSQ is in Brimstone. All of it. Like, pretty much all of it. Like, most of the majority of the MSQ is actually Brimstone. It's weird. There is a lot of old story quests in the old world that takes a while to get to level, like, is it 50, I think? 50? But I mean, like, Brimstone is most of that game's content. I don't really understand that. They released Brimstone after the game was out. Like a year or two after the game was out, too. But I mean, Brimstone is the majority of that game's content. I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't know why they released Angry Earth at all. They should have never taken us away from Brimstone. It still is like the game's majority of the content, I would say.
Play something like that again.
Even at 65, you can spend weeks there, weeks and weeks and weeks.
Is always a bonus.
Is 65 still won't even kick Brimstone's ass that well. Brimstone's hard.
Some are speculating at a First Light rework to the zone.
I mean, it kicks his ass. 65 will kick Brimstone's ass. It will. It's 5 levels higher, but it's not the epic stuff, not the elite stuff. No, you won't kick its ass. No, it'll give you a run for your money. Brimstone is hard. It was like as hard as Dark Souls. It was a hard expansion. It was not easy, you know. It got easy if you got high eye level from ECR really fast. But I mean, that's what you have to do. If you want it to be easy, you have to do ECR every day for like 3 weeks or something to get your character up to where like those mobs don't kick your ass in 2 hits. You know, Brimstone was like a revolution in MMORPG difficulty for me. And I stuck around for every minute of it almost. I thought it was amazing. And I don't know why they changed it. They should have just made Brimstone 65. I mean, that's kind of what they did. But I mean, nobody went there after that. Like, I didn't see anybody questing in Brimstone after they released Angry Earth ever again. I didn't see anybody else there. Only ECRs. That was it, you know? And I'm sure they go through it for the MSQ, but nobody actually stays there. And it's weird because there's a lot of materials like golden scarabs and stuff that we need out of that expansion area that we don't get, that we can't get, that are worth like 7,000 gold because nobody's willing to farm them because nobody plays Brimstone anymore because they released an expansion that sort of suggests that you should just go to that place instead. But I mean, they were zones that we already had technically. And they were good. They were good zones, but they weren't like, you know, they weren't Brimstone good though.
So maybe they'll be in the big.
But it's weird because what made Brimstone so good is a bunch of it was barren and empty, and they weren't apologetic about that. I actually thought it was actually kind of cool how barren and empty a lot of the Brimstone actually was because they knew that mounts were coming, so they made Brimstone really fucking big. And you know, I liked Brimstone. I think of Brimstone back. I think back very fondly of my time with Brimstone. I miss it kind of. It was a good way to dedicate to an MMORPG for a couple of months. I really did enjoy it quite a lot.
The end world. I'd be sad.
The cactuses were a really big thing for me because for a time there, the cactus flesh was like the most fluid, lucrative item on the market, and so you could literally walk outside the first little area in Brimstone and there was like golds lying in the streets out there, and I would right on stream I would sit there and I would farm cactus flesh for 4 fucking hours right on stream because it was like pure gold lying in the streets. It was like thousands and thousands of gold just to chop trees. It was insane, and I loved it, and I don't know why they didn't change it. You can still chop cactus flesh, but nobody's playing the game, so why would I care? You know, losing a population in an MMORPG is a cardinal sin. You guys waited too long and you fucked up kind of, and you let the UI fester and you didn't fix this, and you should have. And now we realize that you used us to showcase an engine, and I'm okay with that exchange. I got a new world. You got to showcase your engine. I think that's a good trade. Like I said in the comments section of this video, it's a good trade. I don't mind it. It's okay. They used us. We used them. It was all right. I needed a place to go that wasn't Rust and wasn't WoW. It was New World for a very brief time. But now I understand that there is no better game than Rust, really. And I know that, you know, and I know that there's a lot of garbage that comes along with that statement that I don't like. And, you know, and it doesn't matter. I still really feel that way. I don't think like New Worlds is good like Rust. I don't think it has the core gameplay loops that get you excited and get those gamer corpuscling, you know. So now I look at New Worlds as a lost cause that honestly I'm okay with them dying. I'd be okay if they announced today the New World was shutting off in a month. I'd be okay with that because it's like they use me, I use them. I don't think I ever did think it was going to go anywhere, and I think this is a discredit to them, and I think they suffer from that, and I do think that it was kind of doing them dirty a bit, and we did them dirty. They were toddlers in the scene. They didn't know anything about making games. They were publishers, not developers. They didn't know how to make an MMORPG. They still don't. They were brand new to the scene. You can see how bad Lost Ark was for them. You can see how bad New World was for them. They were fucking toddlers bumbling through the scene who really didn't know how to make a game, I would say, and still don't. Their UI was garbage. Their optimization was garbage for a long time. It's better now, but it still wasn't good for a long time. It had problems. There was terrible exploits that people used to break the game and have infinite money and all these other things. And I think those lessons, they learned them at our expense. And in exchange, we got an MMORPG for $30. I think I paid $30 for New World and $20 or 30. I think it was $30 for the expansion. So it was like $60 total. I got 1,200 hours of entertainment, and I can always go back to it until they shut it off. And we don't know when they're going to do that. So who knows? We don't know. We don't know where this is going to go. But I will say that this was mishandled, and I believe that they used us, and I believe they used us in a very, very conniving, evil way. And they didn't warn us, and I think they did take advantage of us, and I think we used them in a very, very evil and conniving way, and we did them dirty. We acted like they were Blizzard experienced, and they weren't. We treated them like they'd been around forever, and they hadn't been. We were not forgiving of their noob mistakes, and they were forgiving of ours, and we were rude to them as a developer team. We were so rude to them. We talked shit about them backwards and forth like they had been there forever, but honestly, AGS is like 5 years old. They're like 5 years old. They're 5-year-olds. They are not Blizzard. They have not been there for 28 years. They are 5-year-olds. We were kicking the shit out of a 5-year-old toddler, and I will not look at it any other way. That's exactly what it was. And we mistreated them, and we dissed them when we shouldn't have, and we burned their stock price, and we sent them plummeting, and we abandoned their game and ditched and left. And it's not our job to keep their game alive. It's not my job to defend them. But I will say that we treated them like they were Blizzard because we were angry at Blizzard. And we were angry at Bethesda for failing us. And we treated them like they were Bethesda and Blizzard, but they were not. They were more like Guerrilla, the guys who made Horizon Forbidden Dawn or Horizon Forbidden West, right? The Horizon Forbidden people are exactly like the AGS crew. They've only been around for 5 years. They're mostly publishers, not really developers, and they are definitely like new at this, and they're very good, and they released a product that I genuinely loved, but their game sucked because they are not good at this, not yet. And so we say, oh God, I hope that Horizon 3 is really super good. I hope that New World stays alive. I hope that the Lord of the Rings engine that you use New World to make it is good, and all the. I'm sorry, I don't know how to make that statement. How do I say that? I hope that the experiment that you used us for was successful. Is what I'm trying to say. I hope that the experiment that you used us for without our knowledge was successful, and I'm sorry that I used you and then dissed you and ditched you. And I think we did each other dirty. And I like AGS, and I think they're the new kid on the block, and I want to tousle their head and be like, don't give up, guys. I love you guys. I'm sorry that we dissed you and treated you like you were the big boys on the block. You were not NKOTB. You were the NKOTB. You were the NKOTB. You were not the Michael Jacksons. We treated you like Michael Jackson. We expected a Michael Jackson performance, but you were NKOTB, and it was unfair. You were a toddler. You were a toddler. You were young. I'm the only one in the scene who will say it, but I should say it because we did AGS dirty, real dirty. I'm talking like the worst I think any video game company has ever been treated. Maybe, unfortunately. There's sometimes we abuse them, like for instance, Helldivers. We abused them till we got what we wanted. We did. We abused them. We were like, fuck Sony, fuck Helldivers. We won't buy you again if you do this. And then we fucked them. We got what we wanted, right? And like that's an example of gamers having power and swaying big corporate conglomerates when even the governments can't do that. You know what I'm saying? The governments can't even do that. So we have more power than the government, maybe a little bit in some ways. And so trust me, like we burned AGS, we treated them like Blizzard. They weren't Blizzard. They were not Bethesda. They did not have that experience. They had not been around for 20 years. They had only been around for 3, 5 max. And the stuff that they did do failed horribly. And I'm sorry, but those are the signs of a greenhorn. They are not the signs of a bastardized, fucked up, and Amazon is a bastardized, fucked up corporate entity, but I'm saying like the signs that they gave us were not ones of a triple anus betrayal of the quadruple anus, right? It's the It's the fumblings and bumblings of somebody totally new to the scene. And so this is why I don't dislike AGS and why I don't think you should.
For sure, losing my character would be a shame. But I also look.
Losing my characters, I already consider my characters lost because I can't move them. There's 5 servers. I've capped out. They're capped out. I have no place to put another character. I have no slots. I feel very abused by your character slot system.
The Lord of the Rings universe. Starting again.
I thought ESO was bad with 8 slots, and then I played New World to get me motherfucking 3. Fucking 3 slots. Fucking worthless. Fucking child mistakes. The mistakes of a child developer.
World, the same kind.
3 slots. What the fuck? You have an MMORPG. Mortal did the same thing, and they realized it lately. They were like, man, not having slots was actually kind of a cardinal sin. And so Hemrick, the mortal guy, he just full-blown reversed that motherfucker and just gave us a free character slot just after 2.5 years or something, 3 years. You could tell he didn't want to do it. So, but 3 years in, he was just like, nope, not having the second character slot is like killing this game. And I think that's what they were all saying too. And so he just did it. He was like, here's the second character slot, costs you nothing, it's just free, here you go. I loved it. And I don't think it's even that good of a change. I think it's more like, give me the quality of life or I'll torch you. I'll just end your title. I'll stop playing it. Right? So give me my quality of life now. I'm sick of you guys kind of fucking around with my quality of life so much. I really don't think you should do that anymore.
Kind of gameplay.
Your bad run speeds and your bad character slots and your bad cameras and BG3 and all this other abuse that you put us through. I think I'd rather you I'd rather you stop making quantity of games and just made the games that are good. And I think you should swallow up all those companies and consolidate them and make them 500-man behemoths and have them make Zelda good with good graphics on a good PC. You know? Give us a Zelda that plays like Elden Ring and looks like Forza 5. You know? On a PC with a Nintendo crew that's comprised of Xbox people and Nintendo people, Sony people. I want to see teams that are more interested in actually creating good games that really keep us captivated. I could give a flying shit about Forza 7 or you know, Call of Duty 13, God, so very tired, or whatever version they're calling it, Vanguard tired, or Vanguard, I won't play this. Vanguard it, I won't play this. Or Vanguard, damn it, I won't play this. Vanguard, damn it, I'm not going to play this. Vanguard, damn it, I'm not playing another Call of Duty. I want to see, you guys haven't been doing your homework, and I want to see you show your work. And what I mean by this is you haven't been showing me your work. So I think you're using AI to make video games, right? And so I want you to show me your work. I want to see 20 brand new fucking brands. I'm not talking about titles. I'm talking about 20 brand new Sonic the Hedgehogs, Marios. I'm talking, you know, Lara Croft. Fucking Snake, Metal Gear Liquid Snake, you know, Solid Snake, fucking Kirby, you know. I want to see 20 brand new IPs that all the little kids wet their little pants for and go nuts for. But I can't even think of a video game icon from the last 10 years that the kids should look up to. It's not coming. There is not a video game mascot in the last 10 years, or even a new title. Like, where's the new Crash Bandicoot? Where's the new Sonic the Hedgehog? Where's the new Mario? I'm not talking about new games that bear those titles or those names. I'm talking about where are new video game characters that have their own titles that are making waves in the fucking scene that people remember all of their lives and worship and make Hollywood movies about. They're not there. You want to know why? Because you're just having AI produce goddamn games and it shows. It is. You're having AI and in way too big teams get caught up in committee and it can't make good decisions and all this, and you don't know how to make good games anymore. And I think it shows. I want you to show me your work now. Show me that you can still make a goddamn title and show me a new Sonic the Hedgehog that the kids jizz their pants for. I know it sounds gross, but I mean that's literally what I want from you, and I don't think you're capable. I don't think the industry is capable of supplying that. What's that sound? Oh. This guy's killing spiders. Nice. I'm killing ants.
Doesn't sound that bad to me. Plus, it will give the dev team a blank slate, which will be really helpful.
You have to put some kind of gameplay mechanic in this. Like, you remember how big Fortnite was? You know why it was so big? 100 people drop into a very tight space. I mean, it's not that tight, but I mean, it's like tight at 3,000 meter space. And then, you know, and the storm reduces it one by one till they're all trapped like musical chairs in the center. This was revolutionary. You guys don't fuck around with experiments like that anymore. And I need you to. New World was supposed to be an experiment with bringing full loot drop to the masses. And, you know, Fortnite proved that we can do full loot drop. For the masses, Fortnite is full loot drop. Fortnite is full loot drop. It is proof that full loot drop is entirely acceptable in a massively quadruple A game. It is entirely possible for full loot drop to be massively successful. Fortnite and PUBG did it. Okay? So why you changed that vision, and I get that, is because, you know, all the WoW gamers convinced you that you were taking a risk that you shouldn't take. But I mean, I think you should now add the full loot drop back into at least one zone in the game and let us move there. I think Angry Earth should become full loot drop now. And I want to build white sets at the crafting table to go out and farm trees and stuff in the full loot drop zone and wait for crews of people to come through and bang them and shit like that, like Rust, right? That was the original New World vision. That is why we all came. That is the vision that you co-opted to the fucking WoW Care Bears who don't know shit about PvP or fucking what's good for us. You let their Care Bear dream jade New World and turn it into something that it wasn't. And you made the dungeons garbage, and your mutations aren't good, and your PvE is good when it's solo, but it's not good in a dungeon, and it's not good in a raid. And I'm sorry, ECRs are good, but they're boring, and they're kind of one shot. You know, you kind of one shot all the mobs in ECR now because I don't know why. I don't know why all the ECR mobs die so fast. They never should have. If there's 400 people wailing on a mob, that mob should not die fast. Because, I mean, it should either technically erase in under a millisecond, or it should last for a good 2 minutes. Because, like, you know, if it's 400 fucking people wailing on you, you're either Achilles and you can take it, or you're dead in a millisecond. One or the other. There's no in between there where the mob lives for 10 seconds or something. It should be either 2 minutes or a millisecond, one or the other. I don't really think it should be like, oh, you spent 10 seconds killing this elite sub boss, this elite sub boss, 10 seconds killing this elite sub boss, 10 seconds killing this elite sub boss. It makes the game really popcorn and candy and sort of not very impressive or very, you know, I don't know, like it doesn't have much weight, you know, it doesn't feel like it has much meat to it. For some reason, it feels like kind of a candy game to me because, like, I don't know, the one-shots are real, and so is the bullet sponge isn't that bad in that game, actually. It's the one-shots. Like, the game has bad one-shots all the time on both sides of things. And so, like, I don't know. I don't understand how that promotes strategy or a good RPG. Really one-shots all the time. That was kind of a problem with it.
Because after the rough launch New World had, it's next to impossible to get rid of.
I don't think if the New World launch is rough. I do not believe the rough launch. New World did not have a rough launch. It had bad queues, but every MMO and RPG in history has bad queues. There is no MMO RPG in fucking history that didn't have bad queues. Not one. So you say, oh, this shaky New World launch. Yeah, that 19-hour period where there was queues of up to 3,000 to 5,000. Yeah, that was a bad period, for about 19 hours. And then the game was fine, period, for the rest of the run. There was no other problems, ever.
The game around. which causes the community to get toxic at times.
They like to patch at 11 p.m. at night, which I've never thought is that good. But I mean, I get it. They've got to patch sometime. But why not patch at 3 in the morning? Like, wow, I don't really get that. That was something I think Blizzard got right. Like goddamn New World patches at 11 p.m. PST, which is such a weird fucking time to do that. That's like pretty much every gamer's prime time. And I kind of held that against them. There's like their auction house is not living up to the Amazon name at all. Like, there's not even a buyout function or whatever. I mean, it's just so weird. There's not even a buyout button or anything. It's such a weird auction house. It's so weird. Their UI drops frames every time you open it. There's all these other problems that I don't care about. But, I mean, they are there.
But let's look at
They were there the day one.
things from a bit more of an optimistic angle. Let's say the June announcement is as awesome as they're hyping it up to be.
I didn't like the story. I didn't like the armor. I didn't like the premise. I didn't like the island. I liked the zones. I thought they were cool, but I mean, they weren't really memorable. Only a couple of them were very memorable. It was a generic game in many respects, but I liked that aspect of it. If it had been full loot drop, it would have been fucking amazing how though generic the zones were, kind of, because any shit could set off anywhere, you know? It was cool how generic it was when you look at it from a full loot drop perspective. I think you did it right like that. But the minute that you made it PvE and an MSQ and all those quests and all the fucking dungeons and everything, it got immediately fucking boring. Like, really boring.
We can already pretty much confirm a console release, which I'll do.
I mean, I guess it's cool that it's coming to console, but if it's not cross fucking platform, what is the goddamn point? I mean, yeah, sure, great for the console, I guess. Great for those console boys. They get a good game. We don't. We don't get their population. They get our game, but we don't get their population. The fuck kind of mistake is that? I mean, yeah, I understand that making New World cross-platform is another $1 billion probably transition or something. It's probably like $1 billion transition to make New World cross-platform. I would say it probably is. You know, it's like $1 billion a proposition to make that kind of fucking, you know, infrastructure a reality. It's probably not cheap to make New World cross-platform, right? So they're not going to do that. They're not going to do it. Why would they? I mean, there's no financial incentive for them to make New World cross-platform and reinvent the wheel for a game that doesn't even have population of 10,000, you know? Because how well will it do on console if it's only getting 10,000 on PC? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll do better. You know, it's weird. Rust console actually is so much more successful than PC Rust, which is so weird. Console Rust is like the worst console game ever released in mankind's history. It's worse than that goddamn ET Terrestrial game. The frame rate's like 13. Like, dude, the game's so bad. It's like the worst game I've ever witnessed. You guys want to see Rust console? It's so bad. This was embarrassing to the Rust players. Like, what happened to like Rust console is horrible. Like, what happened to it? Like, why did they even bother? It's still terrible.
This is Rust on PC, and this is Rust on console.
Look how bad that looks. It looks like worse than the PS3. It looks like original Wii graphics. This is what Rust on console looks like. It's horseshit. Now, so watch the comparison again.
This is Rust on PC.
Yeah, and he has the DF on, which I wish he didn't, or Dome would look a lot better. You know,
This is Rust on console.
DF is for scrubs.
The game has had quite a few updates.
Depth of field, DOF.
So today we're going to see if Rust console is finally as good as the original PC version, or if it's still a broken.
No,
bug
it's
in bits.
horrible.
Oh, what? They have gingers on this game? Look at his hair. He looks like Ronald McDonald.
I like this guy. It looks like Ronald McDonald. Look how bad this game looks. Look at their fucking terrible UI. No, the frame rate looks better, I must say. The frame rate when I watched this game like 3 years ago on the Xbox One X, of all things. On the Xbox One X, the frame rate was 13. I shit you not. I saw the 13. It was 13. Like, literally, the frame rate was 13. I shit you not.
I got stuck. Oh, this is going to be a long day. All right.
Like, no lie, it was 13. I saw the number. I was like, nope.
Still haven't been changed.
Oh my god.
Let's just keep running this way and see if we can actually survive on this game.
This game came out 3 years ago. I mean, look at the graphics. Like,
All the X's. What? Why
What?
Is it so small in the tree? How am I supposed to hit that? Oh, you know what? We're not even going to question it. It's gotten smaller. It's getting smaller. Just when I thought this game can't.
now, the frames look okay. The frames actually look like 60. They didn't look like this when I saw the game. Like the frames were my complaint with it. It was sitting at 13. It really was. This looks like 60.
Any weirder? Oh my god! All right, finally.
This game did never had 60 until probably 2023 or something like that.
That was actually
This game was out for like in 2021, I think. It did not have 60 frames per second for like 2 or 3 years. It was down there at 13.
effort. So apparently Rust console now has like all the workbenches and everything, and a lot of people have been saying it's getting very close to
Oh, good. It got all the workbenches.
the actual PC
I mean, we've had that for 7 years or something, right?
Rust. So I tell you what, if I actually have
Why would you play this hacked up, foggy, fucked up game with like reduced utility compared to the PC? Like you can't even see further than like I don't know 50 yards or something.
fun today on Rust console,
Why would you play this game? Like it's a shooter and you can't even see anybody. It's so foggy.
never play PC Rust again. I'm only going to be making content on Rust console if we have a good time today. All right?
Yeah,
So, guys,
right.
it's also
I fucking doubt it.
very quickly on this game. I got to try and get a base set up.
Oh,
Hey,
oh.
stick 'em up. Crouch.
Wow, he actually threw his hands up.
Come here, mate. That's it.
How did he do that? Is it easy to emote? I feel like he probably had to click like 5 buttons to get that done.
Oh no, there's someone else too. Alright, you know, I'm looting this crate. Take.
Oh my god, that's bad.
Oh my god, there's so many people here. Alright, let me get my building plan and my hammer out. Here we go.
Why did you guys bother, or why did you put this on console? That like,
Okay, we're gonna take
no, I mean the frames look better at least.
let's see, let's put everything away.
I was thinking that they were all still in 10 frames this whole 3-year time. Sometimes I think that some gamers are trapped off in some reality that I'm not aware of, where they're all subjecting themselves to 10 frames per second, because yeah, you're watching it right now live. They're subjecting themselves for 3 years to 10 frames per second on Rust console. There's like 900,000 Rust console players, believe it or not. It's actually a very successful game. It actually is. It's more so than PC. It is a successful console game. It's really weird. I don't know why, because they're all in 10 frames per second with this terrible UI and all this fog and like reduced capability and all this. But it's like the only other open world game on the console. There's like 3. There's Final Fantasy 14, Grand Theft Auto 5, and fucking Rust console. There's like 3. What else is there? RDR2, right? There's like 4. There's like 4 games that are actually open world. I guess you could consider Skyrim one, and maybe like Fallout 4. So there's like, maybe you can count on both hands how many there are, but there's like 10 open worlds games on the console, because consoles can't handle open world games. It's just something about them that I won't lie about. They can't handle. Consoles still can't handle Grand Theft Auto 5. They can't. So this is one of the few games that is actually literally open world on the console. So it nailed 1 million people instantly. But I mean, you look at the graphics and you're like, oh no, this looks like the PS3. Actually, I mean, it looks okay right now. It looks better than most console games right now. But it looks like it's in 800 by 600. It is. It's okay, but it's better than every other console game. It's better than 7 Days to Die.
I'm not even gonna lie. Okay.
But it's not prettier than 7 Days to Die, and 7 Days to Die is fairly fugly. So I don't know.
Giving this game compliments now.
I know. I mean, I don't think so, man.
PC Rust again.
Never play PC Rust again. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. That's like saying I'll never breathe again.
He has a crossy, and he has so much armor all of a sudden. Okay, I can't aim on this game.
Oh my god! I mean, it's a controller. Aiming doesn't enter into it.
The control.
It's hold down the trigger and let go. Hopefully your stick is in the right place. Yep. Oh my god! Why is this a 2-man, 3-man fight? Why are there all those dudes there? Why are there scientists everywhere? You killed him. A blue card and a crossy.
I'm having a bad time.
I'm having a bad time.
Put the armor on. Let's go and take the crossbow. Oh, he's back.
Oh my god. That was such a bad shot. Wait until the fucking center of the arrow is actually on your target. You obviously fired at the grass. I'm sorry, but I play console Fortnite for a long time, and I'm actually pretty good at console Fortnite, and like, that is not how you fire a controller. You do have to put the fucking center on the mass.
Easily take me out here. Also very scared of this heli right now, dude. Oh! No, I'm
Oh.
my friend.
Oh, wow. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. You need to take your clothes off. Are you bad? You are bad.
What was that screen that just came up?
Oh, God.
No!
No. No.
Saved by my heli friend. Are you kidding me? My stuff better still be.
Why was the knife guy not shot?
We're good.
Oh, good. Yeah, the knife guy did get shot. I was like, yeah, you can't loot. You're just dead. Wow, it looks a lot better than most console games, but it doesn't look high res. It looks really poopy caca. Very pixelated.
Hey, I think you're gonna live, mate.
This is like 1280 by 720. It is 720p. Oh! How did you nail that fucking controller crossbow hit like that? You never lose it. It never goes away. If you're actually good, it just never goes away. How did you hit that fucking shot?
Is he dying from that?
Did you flick shot controller?
Hey, I think you're gonna
You did.
live, mate.
No, you just pre-fired. Nice, and he ran into it. I can't believe you killed this guy. He was like,
God,
what?
God, he had enough low grade for a furnace. Look at this dude.
Oh my god.
He's already dying again over here to the scientists. Yeah, these scientists are making my life a hell.
No, it really looks pretty bad, I would say. This looks like fairly bad. It looks like PS3.
Come here, boy. He's got a sword.
Run. Melee seems like way easier or way more prevalent in this.
No, not the gestures.
No.
Ah,
No.
timing.
No. Don't stop. No.
Close it.
Oh.
Fool.
You
Not
fool.
much, but I'll take it. Alright, another kill in the bank. Oh, I hear someone hitting trees next door. Oh my god, I'm getting shot at. He's gonna be a pro. He's gonna be a pro, I can already tell. Oh my god, I got close. This is an intense battle. No way he wins it. Bro, PvP.
Why are you trying to flick shot? Don't flick shot with controller.
Let's get the
Just
trophy.
fucking stick it on mass and pray it doesn't move. Do not flick shot controller. It won't work.
Hit him once. I got him with the sword.
You can flick shot to the center of mass and fire. Don't flick shot a moving target trying to hit a moving target. Just move to center mass, flick shot. Don't flick shot moving. Don't tracking flick shot on a controller. You won't land it.
Hit him! Not the gestures.
See, he can't land it.
Oh my god, we got
Not even point blank.
on him. There we go. PvP is just so terrible on this game.
Ugh, I
It's
couldn't
really
do
sweaty
it.
when you do actually kill someone, because man, you gotta work for it.
Oh, is it a SAR? It was a bow.
Oh my god, it was Big Danny. There's some arrows. Thank you, buddy. Sorry about that. Pig, you saw nothing. Oh, I just saw someone down there. I think he might have a house down here, dude. Ooh, we going deep? I think there's multiple people. Oh! That was terrifying. Hey, man, help me.
Follow. Grab your stuff, follow me, mate. Follow me.
Okay.
I need this somewhere. Here they are. Here.
What? Guns?
Mate. Where's the last one?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
this
take
guy's
that.
coming out.
There you go, mate.
Oh shit, who are these people? Yo, thank you.
The ammo!
No shells
He,
for the gun, but
he threw the ammo down. He just told you, here you go, mate. He said the ammo. He didn't say
oh shit, guns?
Mate. Where's the last one?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
this
take
guy's
that.
coming out.
There you go, mate.
Oh shit, who are these people?
No, he dropped ammo. He dropped ammo, and you're not listening to him. He said, there you go, mate.
Yo, thank you.
No, he said it twice because he dropped ammo, and you didn't realize.
I've got no shells for the gun. but
Because
I've
you
got
didn't listen to him.
Oh my god, I gotta run this DB back. Is this a Zerg? I've just ran into a Zerg. Yeah, friendly. Get me out of this neighborhood. There's people everywhere. There's a hunting! Why is there so many people down there? What is down there?
Nothing. There's nothing. There's trees.
Now got a DB out.
It's Primlock land.
I don't know why, but we got one. Oh my god, home sweet home. Yo,
Everyone has wood doors.
this DB away right now. let's go back out. Alright, you know what? Before the sun goes down, let's try and get some scrap.
He really looks like he hasn't used a controller in a long time. And I think I would do better than him. I think I'm actually a pretty controller boy, actually, still.
Water treatment. See if
I know all the settings and everything. How to wreck face on a controller. It's a whole lifestyle. You gotta actually learn it.
we can even
This guy does not know it.
try and do the jumping puzzle on console. I don't know how that's gonna go.
Who is this? Is it Mimia? Yeah, it's is it Mimio? I think.
But I may
I can't remember how you say it.
from it. Please do not write anything mean in the comments.
Thank you, Mimio, for the excellent content from my stream.
On PC. This is gonna be difficult to say the least. Oh my god. Bro, if I fall, I'm so dead. Oh, what? Nah, okay, do you know what? Everyone go to the comments right now, comment broken game, broken game, broken game. I am so mad at that. That was the lag's fault. You saw that.
Why are you
Right
doing
now,
this? Don't do
Can we
this.
just jump again?
You won't.
Okay, do you know what?
You are so lucky you
Do it anymore.
lived.
Let's just get some
You're
scrap
so
and get
lucky you
the hell
lived.
out of here.
Yeah, don't do that. Oh,
Shit.
why are you trying to flick shot him with a controller? Stop doing it.
He's gone.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
He's coming at me
Yeah,
with
don't bother moving the stick. Just sit, just point center of mass and pull the trigger when he's in it. Like that. Don't try and flick shot with a controller. Don't really try. You can do it, but you better spend years trying.
Dude threw a smoke grenade at me. Oh my god, my
Why
face.
not? It's
He's
working.
a goddamn ninja. I got him. He's got to be dead. Yes, I knew it. Dude, that guy was good at the game. I could tell. Oh shit, who's this?
Fire! You had that shot. You had it dead to rights. He was standing there, and you didn't fire.
Do something.
I want to see it again. You had this so long. You were dead center on him almost. You had this so long. Sid says you could have killed this guy right here. Just aim at him and fire. Why are you aiming in the center of the fucking fight? Aim at the guy and fire. Oh my god.
Do something. Oh shit. Run, 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 run.
Oh my god.
Run, just run, just run, just run. We're gonna get DB'd, it's fine, just run.
Oh.
How did he catch up? Ooh, yep, I hear
I always ask that. How do they catch up? I don't know. I don't know.
Come here, come here.
Oh my god.
Come on, come on.
Come on.
Come on, where are ya? Come on.
This controller kid is making fun of the PC kid. But you're the clown in the end always. Controller kid. PC kid's still superior to you. It doesn't matter how much you make fun of us. In the end, PC kid wins.
Come on, be straight, shoot straight, come on,
Yeah, I'm still he's Mimio. He wins.
come on. Fucking took your sweet ass time.
Hey man, it's console. What am I meant to do? Aim?
Yeah, motherfucker. Chick.
Yo, scientists are shooting someone again? Yo, they've been popping up.
Help! Help! A guy's shooting me! Somebody arrest this guy who's shooting me! Ah! I feel the pain in my butt! Ow! Ow! You're...
I static bendy.
Nemo, is that you?
Do you have a mic, bro? Or
Nemo.
what?
Hey, Nemo. Hello? Yes, I'm right here. Yeah, it's me.
Are you talking? I can't hear you. Do you have a mic?
Yes, I do have a mic. Yeah, I have a mic.
Hello?
Yeah, I have a mic right here.
Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this bit out of the video.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Hey guys, it's me, Mimo. Ha.
What was that? MP5. Perfect too. He tripled him with a controller.
I feel bad, dude. He must be
Wow.
an 11-year-old playing Rust console for the first time. But you know what? I just lost my stuff, so I'll take it. Sorry.
That's Rust.
Dude, the audio is so loud on this game. It's so strange.
He's trying to flick shot way too much. What like
Oh my god. Oh my god, we got him.
Why are you dual camping me like that?
He's got a mate.
What the fuck? I'll never save you. Hey, pussy!
Alright, I finally got our DB loaded up with some handmade shells. Time to go find someone to use it on. I want to get big loot off these console players today, okay? Ooh, there's a hazmat down there. He's very geared, bro. I think he saw me, did he?
Yeah. That guy just like lit up the entire fucking mag. What a bad. Yeah, why aren't you shooting? How are you alive? Shoot him! Why are you... Oh my god, how did you win that?
No! I got killed! No! These stupid gestures! How do I turn these off? Pretty much to aim, you have to use the right stick, and if you press it down slightly when you're in battle, it just brings up the shitty menu.
Yeah, that's the console that I know. Yeah, welcome to controller. No, you can probably rebind it. Oh. How did you do that?
Oh, I headshot him, but he didn't die. No. Hey, don't teabag me. Don't you teabag me. What the f... Where did you come from?
He spawned him.
The animal AI is worse on this.
No, he just pop aggroed you. It's pop aggro in every single fucking game. Oh, ouchies.
Oh, this guy has something. This guy just fell off. He's nearly dead.
How?
Okay, well, I got him.
Bro, what are you doing? Get off me, you fucking cunt. Yeah, just take my wood, bro. Just take it on ya. Just take it, bro. Just take it.
God, the mic quality on this game.
Just take it, bro.
What the hell did I get shot by? It like nearly fully killed me.
You're trash. Bring it on, mate. Give it to me. Give it to me. Come on.
Hey, on the ground now.
I'll give you everything. Okay. I'll give you everything. I just want these black raspberries from my achievement, okay? I'll give you literally everything, okay? This is everything.
Hey. Hand over the black raspberries.
No, not the black raspberries.
Hand over the black raspberries now.
Anything but the black raspberries, please, sir. Run for it! Make a run!
Give me the black raspberries. Fucking Rust players. What?
I'm out of ammo. Bro. No! Wait, I just realized my character has black hands, but my player model is in this game, just when I think I've seen it all. Hello? Damn it, I take back everything I've ever said about it. Me and boy?
Man, you a whole bitch.
I'm a what?
You a whole bitch.
I'm a what? Okay. I can't miss.
I haven't seen a kill like that in like 3.5 years. Just Dome, this totally oblivious dude who's just chopping away. Rust isn't like that anymore, not on PC. I mean, you don't really get domed at a tree anymore. I mean, maybe on a busy weekly or something, maybe. But like, no, you don't really get domed at a tree like that, totally unsuspecting. That's not that very common anymore. Let's see it again. I can't miss. I can't miss.
I'm a what?
I can't miss.
I can't miss.
I can't miss. You're fixing to. You haven't had the arrow on him the entire time. Yeah, there you go. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Oh, don't flick shot. You're trying to translate PC flick shots to controller. If you pizza when you zigzag, when you should have pizza'd, like you're gonna have a bad time. Stop trying to flick shot. No, you're gonna try again. Don't do it. Just Aim at his head and pull the trigger. Nope. See it? Nope. See, you're trying all this like flick shot shit. It's a controller. You can't.
So bad.
Not really.
No, I'm so dead.
Why?
God damn it, they killed me. Someone's out farming a node. Why is the moon?
What?
What the hell?
What the hell was that?
What's the moon doing? What the fuck?
What?
What's happening?
It's Rust console.
Better.
It's Rust console.
This game is so broken. This is
And a million people play this too. It's like, I believe the populace last time I looked anyway was like 900 or something.
this? Really?
Oh god.
I hate this game, it's broken. I don't want to play it again. This is not how I'm gonna start my New Year's.
Oh my god, people allow them move the moon using a Tommy. Wow. Oh my god. That was just I don't know. That was just so bad.
Bringing a ton of new players, which is good
So
for content
fucking
creators,
bad.
and Amazon will get a big chunk of cash for this. So hopefully they will fully reinvest that into the dev team, allowing more content to come out at a faster rate. There's also swimming coming, which isn't much for us either, and it's long overdue. But if they're really trying to wow us with this announcement, which I think they are, after all the hype, and having the announcement at a major game conference, I could see them doing something really big along with this. A swimming skill line would be nice. How they would have that work, I wouldn't know. But what I'm really hoping for is some kind of sailing skill line, or naval content released with the swimming edition. Even if maybe it's too hopeful to think it'll be announced in June, I could for sure see this happening soon, and swimming being the first step to this. I think another big hint for this was in the revamped story cutscenes, with Isabella giving Empress Sao an orb that would allow for her to take her armies to the storm wall on their ships. An orb that eventually found its way into the hands of Grace O'Malley, and she was going to use it, but
I don't care about this. I'm sorry.
Is New World finally kicking the bucket? This is
Yes.
a question. Man, I really wish I could speak sometimes. It is not a skill that I possess in any capacity. So thank you so much for being here, by the way. Today, I want to dive into, obviously, the subject at hand. We are seeing lots of conversation, again, about the death of New World. It's finally happening. Player population is, as at its lowest point that it's ever been in history. And I've said in the past that whenever there's a floor, the thing I look at in a concerning way is that when that floor is beaten by another floor. So we actually just take a look at the numbers right now. The current average player base, this isn't the total player base, this is the current average player base, looking at just under 10,000, and this is a far drop from its previous floor into the 1300s, or actually, excuse me, in the 1100s in this case. So now we're seeing a continual drop, and so I thought I'd spend a little bit of time today in this video to kind of talk to you guys about what's going on and the reason why. And anybody who is a long-time New World player probably knows my answer, and it's that where's the content? Content is the key aspect of any game's ebb and flow. But I got a comment as well, which I thought was interesting. It says, let me see here, just pull it up here. Boop. I can't believe that you made a returning player's guide when everyone is leaving in leaps and bounds. You're a nice guy and you make nice videos, at least. Best of luck. So thank you so much. Honestly, Ted, you are a freaking legend. But let's go ahead and get back into the numbers themselves. If you guys are new or if you're concerned, this is generally like the doomsaying that doesn't match up to the reality. Now, at any point, Amazon, if they wanted to, could decide that this isn't a worthwhile endeavor. But they have big plans and big ambitions, and New World is a big catalyst for that. So I have no doubt that they're going to continue to put out content updates and more, because all of New World as a system and as an education and a training and a features list is building into the Lord of the Rings MMORPG. Now, whether New World decides and they want to keep New World going after their initial 10-year commitment, that's going to be up to them, but 10 years is a long time, and we're seeing within the Destiny 2 community, we're seeing, well, Destiny community overall, that they're at that 10-year mark, and there ends up being this natural level of burnout, but it hits New World pretty hard. However, New World has its seasons. A lot of people take the main number that it got up to in terms of that and trying to use that to beat New World over the head. That isn't a pure representation of the community. What is a general representation of the community is when you start to look into the 67,000 and the 137,000 peak concurrency here. Now, what happens along these same lines is that these are events and marketing campaigns. This has a huge impact on New World's success. It isn't just about the content communication and the consistency of which I think that they're communicating, and they're consistently making problems for themselves with obviously the delay of season 5.
400 damage,
all
holy.
of these things can still be
holy.
fixed. It sucks, right? Like there's no other way to kind of break it down. But back to the point here is that you can see here in the fall, that's generally when you see the boost. Now, what's different about this is that you actually see a greater returning percentage and new player percentage with the expansion, but there was no marketing campaign of fresh start servers, which really truly drew a lot of people back in. I do think they'll see and maybe do another event like that in the future, but cross-world server architecture is a must when it comes to these games, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, there's a small server. A small server is and can be an attractive thing to a lot of players, where you don't.
I like his background. It's the only non-girl repellent that I've seen in a long time. It's the house of a normal person.
Have to compete.
Not like normal, but I mean like
for all the resources.
Somebody who's living like not an average life, but a normal life. Somebody who isn't like full time.
And more. But this way, you're also not cut off from the OPRs and the expeditions, and those two things are in, but the other systems need to get put in, and those need to.
I wish they wouldn't do the corny music. I'd rather just hear silence.
Place, especially before Lord of the Rings, or especially before this game ends up winding up on console, which I believe is going to happen. I don't know if it happens this year, but I do think that there is an announcement coming on that maybe sometime this June. We'll see if I'm right on that prediction. Ultimately, time will tell. But
you guys keep saying something big's gonna come in June. It's gonna be like it's gonna be like a new season pass or something. It's stupid. It's not gonna be what you want. Stop trying.
Back into the numbers, you can see here with content, people do return, and generally speaking, January, February, March, April, May, June are the darkest months for this game and its cycle, and that is in and of itself honestly a good thing. It's good that people take breaks, and it's good that people come back. What you want to see is red and green. Otherwise, you end up, if you just have nothing but green and green and green, I'm sure they'd like it, but I think that ends up being a bigger risk for a bigger kind of drawback, and that would be something where I would see something like Destiny. But it's a rare thing also that a game has green and green and green. I think right now Helldivers 2 would be the exception. A lot of people checking out that game. It's great. The other thing you have in terms of this is that they have been doing more fundamental, foundational changes to the game, aka controller support, cross-world server. These things I think are going to add in a lot, especially when people start to return. So people are starting, people are returning, people are leaving. Right now, obviously, they're leaving in leaps and bounds. With you see a big population percentage drop from the expansion. I actually took this expansion off because I wasn't interested in waiting in queues, and I think that's the other big foundational problem New World has.
Interested in waiting in queues? There was none
right now. But the core of this is, why do people leave? Because there's not content that they either want to engage with or can engage with, and I think those are some design philosophies that the developers themselves will hopefully be looking at these numbers and bringing that in. Namely, when we sit down and talk about the PvP community within this game, I think they need more representation, and I'm hoping that we'll start to see more of that come this fall. But
it's like the exact same video that we just watched. It's kind of funny. They're all reading AI scripts about the same thing. It's really weird. Austin strongly recommends Animal Well. I guess it jumps out at me, so why not?
This video is brought to you by Brilliant. Pick up a new skill or just learn more about things like science, math, engineering, computer science, and so much more thanks to Brilliant's accessible and interactive courses. To try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/skillup or click the link in the description. You'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription.
Well, well, well. Animal Well. This is the first title from solo developer Billy Basso, and also the debut for publisher Big Mode, a new indie publishing label headed by the one and only Video Game Donkey, alongside his partner in crime, Leah. Tell you what, they've got a good eye, because Animal Well is a brilliant game. In fact, I dare say this is one of the best Metroidvanias I've ever played. Animal Well encourages discovery and experimentation in a way that very few Metroidvanias do, but how I've often wished that they did. The tools that you find, the creatures you meet, the surreal imagery bordering on overstimulation, none of this makes sense to you at first, but like a newborn baby, you'll try out your new toys, you'll stick them in your mouth, you'll smack the cat with it and find out what happens. In time, you'll understand this world's laws, you'll uncover its secrets, and the satisfaction gained from overcoming its obstacles will be all the sweeter.
I'm sorry, I'm not interested in a 2D platformer in fucking 2024. I don't care who endorses it. Wow, that was a fast load. That was like 25 seconds or something I was in. I guess these settings are better. Wow, I wasn't rated? Okay. I was very surprised by that. Okay. Oh, maybe my other one, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I should try to go over there. I don't know. Oh god, that scared me. Let's see who's on the server. Oh, I need to change my title. Today was a long session. Might even pull a double, maybe. It was good. Rust. Hardcore. Zombies. I like long sessions. It's good. It's good for my job. Oh, Intel FPS for the win. Well, let's see. There's 3 active bases that have walls and defenses and stuff, and then this one. I don't really want to go to any of them. I don't really want to do anything. I just want to watch videos and stuff. It was a long, stressful day. Pop jumped immediately. We'll see what's going on here. View players. Oh, yep. Big surprise. How do you sue your haters? Fallout New Vegas Remastered. What does that mean? Holy. Oh, you bastard. Wait, I don't want DMCA. I don't know why that's on this. Are you aware? Like... I don't think that's remastered. No good. That holy hurt. Damn it, the stupid mini heli came the second I logged on. Oh, I don't have any food here. Maybe the gas station, I guess. Maybe I got something there, huh? Nope. That is okay. Who's that? Oh god, right. Yeah, I'm being targeted. Ah! Go, tornado. No, it's gonna kill me. Run. I don't know why you wouldn't flee. Because you put me on the wrong key. Okay. So this concludes my 14-hour session, guys. I just wanted to kind of come in and see if anything happened, but nope. Gonna stop here. It is time to go to bed. It's dawn, and it's time for and it's my bedtime. That's when it's time for me to go to bed. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Just a reminder, you have been watching Skycat Live. I love you guys. Thank you so much for paying attention to me. You have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging out. This session, it was recorded in its entirety and will be placed on my YouTube channel in the next 12 hours. And thank you so much for spending time with me today. Just a reminder, if you're on YouTube, come and click on the cat space to donate. If you're on Twitch, come and click on Twitch to donate. My name is Skycat.live. Come to skycat.live. This is my website. Full-time variety gamer all day, every day. Put me on in the background. Click on the cat space to donate. And thank you so much for your time. I love you guys. Thank you. Bye.